just because Winston Cup had the weekend off didn't mean any of us didn't race. So we're going to talk about the truck race, the Busch race, what Kenny did this weekend, what Kenny did that weekend, and what I did. Plus, got Pat back in the hot seat, and all the stuff that happened for the first half of the year. So stay tuned on NASCAR's Inside Winston Cup race.
Hi, welcome to the Sunshine and Short Track Racing edition of NASCAR Inside Winston Cup. As Johnny said, just because there was no Winston Cup race, that never stops us. We're here to talk about what all has happened in the whole first half of the season and get you ready for Daytona's Pepsi 400 Saturday night with our assembled expert panel back from their exploits throughout the country. We welcome to the program Kenny Wallace, driver of the Stacker 2 Dodge for Bill Davis Racing, Johnny Benson, driver of the Valvoline Pontiac for MBV Racing, and Ken Schrader, driver of the BAM Racing Dodge. How did the Tour de Schrader turn out this weekend?
Not too good.
Not what you would hope it would have been, huh?
No, we ran dirt car 3 nights, and Tony ran one of my dirt cars one night.
Tony
We ran
Stewart.
the Federated Auto Parts truck at Milwaukee, and we weren't running good. We were running 11th and had a little problem with about 35 to go, wound up 21st. I just keep waiting and see what's going to happen next.
You sound tired.
I'm not. I'm ready to do this show. Going to go to South Boston, run the ARCA race Wednesday, and then cruise down Daytona and get ready for Firecracker.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm tired.
We'll hope you're energized by the weekend. Johnny, how was Berlin?
It was okay. Went up there and it rained, and then finally about 5 o'clock we finally got on the racetrack, but unfortunately it started by points, and with my 2 races up there I started last. So made it up to 4th, had a great crowd, had the sprint cars there. Tommy Fiedel won that, Timmy's cousin, and so we just ended up 4th, didn't have enough time, it was only 50 laps.
Did I read something somewhere this weekend that you had one of those birthdays?
Well, yeah. I got a birthday every year.
You
I don't know what's different
An
about
O
this one.
birthday.
An birthday.
30.
Oh.
No.
yeah.
One of the ones that ends in 0.
Yeah. 40.
Hey, happy birthday.
Getting old.
Have a birthday to you.
Well, you're getting close. What are you, a couple months behind me?
Oh, you had to throw that in there, didn't you? August 23rd, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
I turned
It's not all that bad, is it?
For Rio. 40.
Math skills need some work there.
Hey, well, you know, every once in a while you can dream your
I
own
think
math.
that side's already been
You know,
on that.
Yeah.
I've known Kenny since he was yay high. And looking at him now and listening to him, there's a dang good chance that he's not going to grow out of this.
You know, everybody tries to grow me up. Now, see if I can just convince everybody I really won't be no older.
That's right. That's it.
Well,
You'll be older.
How
You just
about
won't
you
be.
racing this weekend?
Okay. Kenny Schrader said last year when he went to that cast car deal in Cayuga that it was the 24 hours.
24 hours of Cayuga.
Yeah,
Well, mine
we
was,
all did that.
Mine was the 48 hours of Cayuga. I start out, well, anyway, the bottom line was
You got a rough driving penalty, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Now, this one right here was a 50-lap heat race. And what happened, you have to be 50-50 front to rear on your percentages. I went to go sign autographs. I came back, and they told me I was illegal. My car was 50.1 on the rear.
Well, there's a rule, Kenny.
Oh, yeah, there's that rule. So I had to start last, made it up to 8th. Then I start the big race, and I'm on this outside of this guy, and he slides up, and I bump him a little bit.
And he runs into you.
And yeah, well, anyway, I hit him, but it ain't like I hurt him. Knocked him sideways. The caution comes out later on for rain, and they told me I had to do a stop and go. So I was not very happy with my trip. But they got a great bunch of guys up there, and they got a great series. They got good rules, keeps the cost down.
They got the same shocks they had?
Yeah, yellow Monroes.
They're neat.
It's when you go up there, it's like a time warp. It's like the cars are what we used to run like 20 years ago. But they save money, and that's good for those guys up
It's
there.
good racing.
It is a good rule,
it's fun.
and I had a good time. Just a little unhappy with the rules, but hey.
You'll have that when you run over people all the time.
Yeah, well, lately here, the last 2 weeks I've been running into people, and
we know.
I think I just need to calm down a little bit. So I'm going to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
I'm on the wheel, man.
I went to Stafford, Connecticut Friday
Hey,
night.
what did you do?
Saw some short track racing.
You went
I hadn't
racing.
done that in 20
Good
years.
racing up
it was
there.
great racing. It was a lot of fun.
Was it modifieds?
They're local modifieds,
Right.
SK modifieds. Great racing, a lot of fun. Teddy Christopher was there. Fun show.
Cool.
Hadn't been there in 20 years. Great place still. Coming up, our expert panel's opinions on some issues in the first half of the season. We'll also get their opinions on the players for the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship as we get set to enter the year's second half. In the hot seat, Michael McSwain, crew chief for Bobby Labonte, better known as Fatback. He'll be here. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will hear from Michael Waltrip, roving reporter.
Speed Channel's coverage of NASCAR Inside Winston Cup is brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I think music does more to bring people together than any other one thing. As much as I travel, we're always looking for good radio stations that play good music, and XM radio gives me everything I need. Got 100 different choices that I can make: pop, country, rock and roll, news, talk, whatever. Right at this moment, XM radio is the best radio there is.
XM Satellite Radio, featuring the only 24-hour NASCAR radio channel.
Introducing McCormick Grill Mates Grilling Sauces. Just grill, brush, and let the feast begin. New Grill Mates Grilling Sauces, along with seasonings and marinades, are from McCormick, the taste you trust.
Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain.
Chance for you to sound off no matter what kind of racing you like.
Dave's talking motorsports live.
Old Dave here, your big old self-centered TV windbag.
Wind Tunnel, Friday nights at 11, only on Speed.
Nothing outperforms Mobil 1. Now the official lubricant of NASCAR.
Saturday night's Pepsi 400 at Daytona marks the halfway point of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season for 2003, so we wanted to take some time here and discuss some of what's happened so far this season and then look ahead at what we might expect in the remaining months. Generally, feedback on the new body rules has been positive. 13 different winners in 16 races this season, 11 at this time last year, about the same number of leaders and lead changes as hadn't had any effect statistically on this season compared to last. So how has it affected things on the track?
Well, I mean, there's, anytime that you have a set of rules, everybody's going to take advantage of all of it. So everybody's got the same rules to work with. So you don't see a whole lot of differences in the competition end of it. But it's been a lot better because guys haven't been arguing that the kick-out's more on one car or it's less on the other. So everything's pretty close to being the same. So there should be less argument on the rules themselves. And that part's been a pretty good positive. I know there's some issues with some of the templates that they're talking about maybe making some changes, but that, again, that'll be changes for everybody, not just a certain make.
They're good. It's been a good rule change.
I just, what Johnny's last point there was the fact that the talk has been about the racing and not about the rules has been a real big plus. If you could adjust one thing on the cars from now till the end of the season, what would it be? If you could get one change.
For what reason, though?
Well,
I mean,
what do you want?
For whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple of things that we did test at Charlotte that actually worked out pretty good for side-by-side racing, would be to shorten the spoiler but make it a lot wider. And I think that would be something that I think would be in the future something really good for our sport.
I wouldn't necessarily, I can't answer that question because we change so much constantly. I think out of the first question, we talked about the new body rules. I think just what I hope comes out of it is just consistency. Just that we finally get everybody the same, and we go on for the next 5-6 years where there's not so many rule changes. Now, if they want to try the 5x5 rule where the valance is 5 inches, the spoiler's 5 inches, that's something easy to do, but they just constantly be changing so much. I think that's what's going to come out of this year. Is maybe we'll create a standard in Winston Cup racing like we had years ago, where, okay, this is your car, let's go racing for the next 5 or 6 years.
Restrictor plate rules heading back to Daytona this week. If you could change any one thing about the restrictor plate package, what would it be?
Quit talking about it. Just go race. I mean, there's
so
nothing
hard.
wrong with it. They've tried and tried and tried, and they've spent a lot of money, and everyone's done a lot of research, and it's just like we have a problem controlling what happens when those cars get sideways or backwards in excess of 190 mile an hour. So there's certain things we have to do to keep them down around that speed. We have good races. We only do it 4 times a year. Just run the things.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. I mean, how much more can we ask for? People, I never understood why we changed it in the first place, because the racing is great. I mean, it's 3 wide. You don't know who's going to win until the end, and I don't know what people are looking for.
You never know. Even in Martinsville, you don't know who's going to win until the very end. Kenny.
Right. I mean, the racing is incredible, and we're always going to be 3 wide, and so be with it.
Okay. Biggest story of the season's first half. That's very profound on your part for someone who's not growing up.
So be with it. That sounded kind of like Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo.
So be with it.
No.
Well, what does it sound like? It's good.
Sounds like you.
I was only one awake this morning.
Biggest story.
You got to sleep.
I got up at 4:30 this morning. I'm running on adrenaline stacker 2.
And just so people truly appreciate the perspective on that, your normal time to get up is
9:30, 10. Okay, 10.
Just checking. Biggest story in the first half of this season has been what? Nextel.
Well, I think now we'd have to say it's been Nextel. First off, it started off with Winston saying that it's potential for them leaving, or they would like to leave, if not that they'd like to, but they needed to. And then in today's economy and today's times, for NASCAR to get that package sold that quick. And, we're excited about that. That Nextel's, Winston's been phenomenal what they've done for the sport.
Gosh, yeah.
And Nextel can only take it on farther.
I had a question asked me this week, Johnny. You know what it was? It's what is this show going to be called next year? It's Inside Winston Cup Racing now.
We'll think about it for a little.
Well, I know what it's going to be called.
You're way out ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd throw it out there. I had that question asked me 2 or 3 times.
You think they're going to let us do this show next year?
It's always something. That's
been that way for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. We always wonder if they're going to let us do this show next week. So let's get one at a time
don't worry about
first.
next year.
Without question, the best finish in the first half of the season was Darlington. Ricky Craven, Kurt Busch. Worth seeing again.
Oh, absolutely. Darlington's always had some great racing, but the show that these two put on, not just this last lap, but the last 4 or 5 laps of this race was pretty good. And even after.
That was outstanding.
But we've had good races besides that one.
Yeah.
We've had good races all year.
All right, coming up, we continue our discussion by looking ahead to what we might expect in the stretch drive for the championship. First, the Bud Pole Award standings to this point in the season. Ryan Newman topping the list of fast qualifiers as we approach the year's midway point.
The Bud Pole Award is brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
I mean, my haircut is nice. The dye job, it
looks
worked.
good.
It's good, huh?
Uh-huh.
You charge the batteries, right?
Yes.
And I look good?
Yes.
Hey, Dale. We're here for the interview.
Oh, right. Where do y'all want to do it?
Wherever you're most comfortable.
Thanks, guys.
This Friday on Speed,
At 8 a.m., kick off your 4th with a bang. Live F1 qualifying for the French Grand Prix. Later at 6, just in time for that barbecue, live Winston Cup happy hour from Daytona. At 7, NASCAR guys talking with NASCAR guys. Go trackside live from Daytona. And at 8, Jab Cars light up the night with live qualifying from Cleveland. That's all this Friday, only on Speed.
The best international cricket live from around the world, only on Dish Network. Watch your favorite teams play in the most prestigious tournaments. Don't miss a single run. Order today.
Are you a homeowner? Do you want to refinance or consolidate bills? So how do you find the best deal? It's easy. Just call America's Lending Partners. We help thousands of homeowners every month, and we can help you too. With just one phone call, we match your loan request with up to 4 prominent lenders. Then the lenders call you at your convenience. You compare offers, compare options, and decide which loan is best for you. Even if your credit is less than perfect, America's Lending Partners can help you. Call 1-866-394-LOAN.
Back on NASCAR Inside Winston Cup, still, with Kenny Wallace, Johnny Benson, and Ken Schrader. Michael McSwain will be in the hot seat shortly if he doesn't run out the door to changing his mind before we get to him next segment. First, I want to talk about the remainder of the 2003 season and quickly touch on each of the top 5 drivers in the championship and throw a question at our panel about each of those guys' potential for the title. Matt Kenseth, his team has not been in the championship fight down the stretch. How will that affect them, that pressure, or will it?
I'm sure that they're going to do fine. I mean, they're so consistent. Matt and those guys have just been getting together and running so good no matter where he's at. And I think that part's going to make them tough. You know, they've been in the championship deals for the pit stop contests. They've won some races, a lot of races, and consistent week in, week out. And I really don't think it'll be an issue.
I agree. Me too.
Next up, Jeff Gordon. How much will his experience in the pressure of a title run make a difference?
He'll be tough. He'll be tough. He'll keep coming. Just keep gnawing away every week a little bit.
Seem to be they didn't start off dynamite the first part of the season, 2014, but they seem to be gathering up a lot of momentum here as we hit the summer.
I think as you see, every team that's running for a championship is going to have issues throughout the year. It's just his are probably at the beginning instead of near the end, but hopefully.
Dale Jr., a lot of people have been discussing they see a different attitude in him this year. Do you see that in your dealings with him? What's different about him?
My dealings with the junior is he's a very serious race car driver, but like me, a lot of people want to pin this deal on him that he parties a lot and so forth. And I think this year he's out to put that to rest, you know. He's always been a great race car driver, young kid, and, you know, just learning his way, what people are expecting of him. It's just so much pressure. And he's kind of put that aside this year.
There's a lot too. At least the differences that I noticed is that there's a bunch of tracks that he last 2 years has not run good at, and this year he's ran very well at. And even seeing in the road course racing, he's always struggled. And this year he's right there on top of his game. And I think that those are the areas that is going to make him a championship contender.
Yeah.
Bobby Labonte next up. Let's see. They changed brands of cars over the winter, added a new crew chief, that they made those major changes and are still running like they are. Surprise you at all?
I'm impressed just with what that team did over the wintertime. I mean, you know, Bobby didn't have the year he wanted to last year, but yet they just made so many changes with what a lot of people would like to have a year like he had last year. I'm impressed that they went after it again and changed so much, and now they're doing good.
And the 5th place man in the championship is Michael Waltrip. Yet, he's 5th in the championship at the halfway point of the season. You don't ever hear his name mentioned as a contender for the title. What does Mikey have to do to get taken seriously as a championship contender?
Well, he might have the same problem Kenny's got as far as, being taken care of. Serious?
You know what? You know what? In reality, I'll answer that. That is the truth, exactly. So many people expect Michael and me to entertain them and act a little silly, and so we do that for people on TV here or on radio, whatever. But in reality, I mean, Kenny knows this. I mean, when we go through that pit gate, I mean, we're racers. I mean, right?
Very, very, very focused.
We're asked by producers and stuff to cut up a little bit, but Michael Waltrip has always been a great race car driver. I mean, from some of the rides he has had in the past, nobody's ever gotten in any of those cars and done 1 ounce better or with even contact of that. I mean, he's a great race car driver who has never been in a top-notch team.
So, to answer the question, what does Mikey have to do to get taken seriously as a title contender?
Just keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what he's doing because he's there every week.
Right.
I mean, some people probably thought he was going to drop back a little bit, and he dropped back a few spots, come right back. Right. It's just good to see him do it.
He's done a great job handling it, yeah.
And we all know this is Mikey's show. So
Mikey's show. Well, with that being said, here we go. Ready? Okay, here's Mikey.
I got to suck up to him because I want to stay on the show. You're doing wonderful, Mikey.
Yes, Mikey.
Let's check NASCAR's top 10 and more as we get set to head to a break. After 16 races, Matt Kenseth leading the very close fight for second. Check that out. 2 points there between Gordon and Earnhardt Jr. 7th through 10th separated by only 73 points. 99 points from 11th to 15th. Only 210 points from 11th to 20th. It's tight.
What about 28th? Oh, okay.
Up next, Michael Waltrip, roving reporter from the Dale Earnhardt tribute concert in Daytona Saturday night.
One brand, one promise, red hot performance. Edelbrock is #1 in street performance carburetors. Dependable bolt-on performance with user-friendly features like easy-to-tune metering rods and manual or electric choke. Crisp throttle response, more power and more torque than the competition. Edelbrock, race-winning performance products for over 60 years. Call for your free catalog.
Edelbrock carburetors perform right out of the box, or I wouldn't put my name on it.
He's back. You better hurry.
All right, you guys could do the big cleaning, but let me see you clean this. Hit it, Carrie! Wow!
When it comes to clean, Jana King's owner-operators can do practically anything. Just ask the tens of thousands of businesses we serve every day.
Very nice. Great job, guys.
Man, how do they do that?
You need help.
Jana King, the king of clean.
Speed Channel presents the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
I can't push you around now. Let's go.
Only on Speed.
Fuel, air, power, speed, road courses, street courses, oval, super speedways. Champ Cars racing wheel to wheel, turn for turn, lap for lap. Catch the Champ Car World Series all season long on Speed.
All right, Saturday night was the Dale Earnhardt tribute concert held down at Daytona International Speedway. Big crowd entertained by a wide variety of acts ranging from Alabama to Sheryl Crow, and making the scene was our man Michael Waltrip, who filed this edition for us of Michael Waltrip, Roving Reporter.
Thanks, guys. This is pretty big stuff. I'm backstage. You can see the stage that has been constructed here in the tri-oval at Daytona Speedway. This is the first time there's ever been anything like this at this track, and it's the first Dale Earnhardt tribute concert. What a great night. What talents that are coming together. The Goo Goo Dolls, Hootie and the Blowfish, Kenny Chesney, Alabama, Belmer McClinton. I mean, so many, Sheryl Crow, so many great performers are going to be here to celebrate Dale's life. And all the folks that are playing tonight are truly musical groups and acts that Dale loved. It's going to be like electric. Everybody's just fired up. And I'm glad I'm going to be able to kind of tap into it a little bit, show you guys back there in Charlotte what exactly went on and how it all went down. So let's go for a walk, see who we can find and talk to. Cheryl, this is a big night. I mean, the fans have shown up, and the racing world and the rock and roll world's kind of merging. This is exciting for us.
Oh, it's huge for me. I planned my whole little summer tour around this gig. I got asked to do this about a year ago, in fact, and have had it in my mind for the whole year, planned my tour around it, and you can tell everybody here is just so full of love, and they're psyched about it, and it's a cool thing.
It's so fun that we're coming together to celebrate Dale's life and pay tribute to him, because we listen to your music, we listen to Alabama's music together at times, and so it's just a way to be happy about Dale's life.
That means a lot to me. I mean, just knowing that while I was, I mean, my family's life is built around the Sunday races and the Saturday night races, and just knowing that he was a fan means so much to me, because he brought me a lot of joy and a lot of fun and excitement, and he to me was like a rock star. He kind of broke all the rules, and then he wrote the rules, and then he broke those rules, and he was just a badass dude, you know, and a cool family man, and just I really admired him a lot.
He was complex, that's for sure, and there's a lot of people here tonight that are fired up to check all this out. Me particularly. This is huge, a concert in the infield at Daytona. I mean, on the front straightaways. Is this the first time anything like this has happened?
Yeah, this is outside of racing. This is the first time Daytona's ever done anything like this. I got to tell you, I'm a little worried about the pit road right now. I hope they can take this stage down pretty quick.
We got a big event next Saturday night, huh?
Thursday qualifying.
It's pretty cool how the rock and roll and the music world and the racing world has collided, and the race fans, of course, and music fans have responded, and it's a great tribute to Dale.
No, it is, and I think that's what inspired Daytona to be a part of this, was Dale's contribution not only to all of NASCAR and motorsports, but particularly to Daytona.
I'm supposed to be trying to stretch this out because there's some jets going to fly over, but I didn't work it out. I still hadn't seen a jet
Sometimes your timing ain't exactly right. I've seen that in action before, but sometimes it works pretty good.
Is it more obvious on Monday night during the show or Sunday afternoon on the track?
Sunday afternoon. The Monday night timing is okay. I mean, that's you can fumble a little bit there and come back and actually look pretty good.
We can say cut. They don't let us do that on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, the jets are flying in. That means the concert's getting ready to start. They're kicking it off. I'm excited. Check that out. The fans are pumped up. The music's going to be great. This has been my pre-concert special for the Speed Channel, reporting from the infield of Daytona International Speedway. I'm Michael Waltrip. I always wanted to do that. I thought it went pretty good. I'll give you a post-concert update next Monday on the show.
That's great. He's the man.
Looked like it was a good time. Said they had a fierce thunderstorm come pounding through in the middle of the show. Fans never left, sat there in the seats and said, heck no, we won't go, the whole thing. Then they dried out, got the show going again, and said it was a great night.
I mean, what a huge deal. I mean, did you see that stage? I mean, that was no little deal. That was huge.
Yeah.
The televised version of the Dale Earnhardt tribute concert. You can see the concert on Fox Thursday night, July 10th, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Sheryl Crow, the Goo Goo Dolls, Alabama, a lot of great talent there. And that's when it comes up on to Thursday night, July 10th. Next, the hot seat, featuring a man who says he's not running out the back door because he has business to take care of with Kenny Wallace.
Oh, gosh.
Michael McSwain.
Yeah, he does. Oh, no.
When do we come back?
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that have been around the block a few times. The kinds of cars that need Castrol GTX high mileage. Specially engineered to protect against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
Hello. Sorry. Okay, let's see here. Have you been in an accident of any kind? Have you had your odometer rolled back at all? Okay, well, any stalling, sputtering, that kind of thing?
Used cars don't talk.
Cough, please.
That's why there's Carfax. From police reports to state inspections, we have the history of the car you're looking at. Get a Carfax report from your dealer or go to Carfax.com and get the truth about used cars.
The bench on the right is being painted with Krylon interior-exterior. The bench on the left with Rust-Oleum stops rust. After just 12 minutes, Krylon is dry to the touch. Rust-Oleum stops rust Well, gee. Oh, not good. Oh boy. Cryline. No runs, no drips, no errors.
Friday nights, go trackside.
This is the show of shows.
This is my people right here. Trackside, Friday nights, only on Speed.
The Green Machine has been mean this spring, recording 6 top 3 finishes in the last 8 races. Now joining us, the man who leads that effort for Joe Gibbs Racing and Interstate Batteries, Michael McSwain. How you doing?
Good, real good.
Appreciate your coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Just seconds ago, before we came out of the commercial, Kenny Wallace asked, well, where were we going to start this conversation? And we all sat back and said, well, duh.
Well, now, you know,
Here we go.
Oh, look at that. Was you.
You haven't seen that angle, huh?
I haven't seen that angle.
Watch this angle.
Right here, I'm like, oh,
I
no,
think I
no,
got
no.
him. Oh, I got him.
Okay, now, Michael, throughout one's
Let me get out in
career-
between you two.
Hey, remember, I know where you live now.
Because you
Remember, I came by and I was riding. Oh, there's Herman.
Yeah, so
So
you know
I know where you live.
Throughout one's career, we all make a mistake every once in a while. Now, did you accept my apology?
Yeah, for the most
All right.
part.
Want you shake my hand?
Yeah.
All right.
Got to be careful here.
Okay. All right.
Feel better now, Johnny?
I feel a lot better now.
You're in the middle. I was going to All right. Seriously, that was serious. But you came from a really successful team, Robert Yates Racing, and you came over to Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah.
How much work was there to be done? Obviously, when you arrived there, knowing that you had to change bodies and institute a new regime, I guess you could say.
Well, for the most part, it was pretty easy because almost every team out there, even if you didn't change manufacturers, had to build new cars, build new bodies because of all the new rule changes. So it really kind of played into a good year to make a manufacturer change because everything has got to be changed anyway.
Right.
So basically, you're starting over.
Did you hire any new people when you went over there? Or did you just take the
We hired a couple people, but really we did more realigning than anything. Moved some people around, brought some new fresh energy to the road crew, and really didn't make a lot of changes other than just try to get everybody fired up.
Well, I got to congratulate you. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
What the questions asked us the difference, from the championship contenders this year, and so we want to see your view on the 18 car, but also maybe on like a Matt Kenseth and Junior, and of course Jeff Gordon too.
Yeah, I think it's really close. I mean, we're only a couple hundred out and 80-something out of second. The guy that's sitting up there in second, though, he probably worries me more than anybody in all the top 10 because he's done it.
Talk about Jeff Gordon.
He's done it a couple times. He knows what it takes. And he's a smooth character when it comes to points time. Kenseth and them's been tough. I mean, they've hit it every week. I thought somewhere we were going to.
We always turn off our phones when we come in. Yeah, I didn't turn mine off either. Now I think about it.
Who is it? You can answer it.
Is yours off? I'm making sure his is off now.
It's a joke.
It was you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're still messing with me. And Michael's up there and Dale Jr.'s up there, but out of all the people up there who from my standpoint, is the 24 bunch because they're strong week in and week out, and they've done it 2 or 3 times.
We all kind of know each other a little bit from just being in the same workplace all the time, but you don't really have a relationship with everyone in there. You just know them a little bit. Did you get yourself into a deal with Bobby here? Is Bobby what you thought you were getting into? I mean, everyone's a Bobby fan,
Right.
but is he different working with than you thought he was going to be?
He's a totally different person than I thought. I mean, like you said, I knew him and have been around him, but he's big time intense. I mean, he's all about winning races. He's all about winning championships. That's what drives him. That's what makes him get up every morning. I mean, he's like crazy right now because he'll get up Saturday morning before practice and he'll go run 4 miles before practice, and he's big time in shape, and his head's into it big time. He's really getting after it.
Wow. Gets up Saturday morning and runs 4 miles?
4 miles, that's racetrack. He did 2 laps at Michigan.
Wow. Now, what time would he be getting up?
Way before 10.
Saturday morning practice is a stretch for you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's been impressive.
Yeah.
Jimmy Makar, what he's doing for the team now. He's doing some different things than he was before.
Yeah.
But you've been saying that he's been doing some really important things.
He's doing the stuff that's got to be done. Makes your team stronger, makes you better. It's so hard to figure out how am I going to fit this into my schedule. You know, he does wind tunnel stuff. He does, you name it. I mean, just pick a project, and we're like, okay, Jimmy can do it. So he has a little more time off than he used to, but not a lot more, because we just took all things that for years you would say, well, we'll try to get that, and you'll just line them up, and you might get 2 or 3 done a year. Now we get 10 done a year, because we got a person who knows race cars, knows how to race, and me and Greg can really trust what we get from him.
Right.
I mean, we feel real comfortable about it.
Well, you spend all your time just going to races and getting ready for the next race. That you got to have someone that has been there to be in charge of that.
Right.
That, and that's pretty impressive because, I mean, each team, when you're looking for somebody to do your research and development, you're looking for that great engineer. But with you guys, you've got a great crew chief. Right. Who won a championship. I mean, that does have to make you feel comfortable.
Your engineering corps, I think everybody gets most of their work done through their engineering group or person or people. But they never really have that leader who, with the racing experience and the on-track experience. Now we've got Jimmy, so we can get even more out of he can see something there and he can like, we've done this at the racetrack, but try this. And it's real racetrack experience, and it makes it stuff you can really use.
Wow.
All right, going to take a break here. Michael McSwain with us in the hot seat. Up next, we will look at the weekend's action from the Milwaukee Mile. Teammates dueled for the win in the NASCAR Busch Series race and a successful 3-wide pass at Milwaukee. It happened in the Craftsman Truck race.
Any tailgater with a few brats under his belt knows if you don't turn them, you burn them. So, if you're going to jockey those Johnsonville brats around the grill, come prepared. Or at least, prepared to improvise. Welcome to Heaven on a Bun. Welcome to Johnsonville.
Sunday, Speed Channel Test Drive, Audi S4 and Audi RS6. Cars that combine sculpted lines with gripping performance. Speed Channel Test Drive, Audi S4 and RS6. Sunday at 5, only on Speed.
It will sculpt your shoulders, build your biceps, tone your triceps, define your chest, strengthen your back, chisel your abs, reshape your glutes and thighs. Introducing the Total Body Trainer from Body by Jake. 7 simple exercises, 15 minutes, 3 times a week. 1 great body. Why spend over $1,000 for a bulky home gym when the streamlined Total Body Trainer can strengthen all the same muscle groups for under $200? The Total Body Trainer comes complete with power bands, workout video, and progress charts. Great results guaranteed or your money back. Reshaping your body from head to toe doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Call 1-800-770-7918 and order the Total Body Trainer.
The NASCAR Busch Series update is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light, the proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series.
Jason Keller picked up his first NASCAR Busch Series win of the season, winning a late race duel with his teammate on Saturday at the Milwaukee Mile. We review quickly now the Busch and Truck Series action for the weekend with Kenny Wallace, Johnny Benson, Ken Schrader, and Michael McSwain. After Johnny Sauter, Ron Hornaday, and Scott Riggs led the early laps, Brian Vickers established himself as the front runner in the GNC Livewell 250. But Vickers would lose his lead on a caution flag pit stop at lap 155, falling from first to fifth. The caution brought out when Dana White's car had mechanical failure and stopped on the track. Vickers leads the field in. Scott Riggs choosing a little different pit stall that worked to his advantage.
Got that first one, so they get stopped quick.
As you see, that pit road is really tight getting in there, and I think that's why he chose to do that. And out.
Yeah, it's a little tight getting out, too.
Yeah.
So Vickers from 1st to 5th on that. He would only get back as far as 2nd. On the restart from those stops, Ron Hornaday tries to take the lead away from Scott Riggs. Shane Meal is trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap. Controversy ensues.
Yeah, that's pretty big actually here.
It takes a couple laps to unfold, but we'll shorten it up in the interest of time.
Well, it looks like some pretty good racing for the lead here. And of course, like I say, you got a lap car, not a lap car, he's at the tail end of the lead lap. And, you know, they're just racing pretty hard, trying to race for the lead, and then now trying to get around Shane.
All right, here we go. Next lap. 2 laps later, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty big here. Wiggum going down the straightaway.
Yeah, that probably didn't need to happen. But, like I say, now you got him slid out, and that's pretty tough.
So you want us to excess blame?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, when you come off 2 right there, it tightens up. And you kind of know that he had no Shane was going to come down a little bit, but Shane also had no that Ron was going to have his nose stuck in there trying to get the lead.
So is this a Dick Trickle deal? We're working on percentages, 50-50?
They both knew it could happen when they went out there.
Yep.
I think it's more a 50-50 deal.
Okay.
It's pretty tough.
We'll move ahead from there. 25 to go. Jason Keller is trying to take the lead away from his teammate, Scott Riggs. Don't want to take your teammate out, but you want to race for the win. There's got to be a lot of pressure there.
Well, yeah. You know, having teammates in the past, you always try to race them a little bit different because you want to give them a little more room and make sure you don't mess them up because it makes for a bad day on both sides. But Jason had a good car right in, and Scott was starting to fade some.
How do you like sitting on a box watching teammates? How's that perspective look?
Well, I mean, we were racing at Richmond and had a similar deal. We thought we had got in the back of Tony and he wrecked, but he ended up he had spun on his own. But it's a good feeling because you know it's the whole team effort's running good, but it's tough too because you know if you beat on each other, then it's not going to be a fun day on Monday.
All right, top 10 finishers from Sunday's GNC Live Well 250. Jason Keller's first win since Nazareth last May. All the top Busch Series contenders for the championship finished well. They will all line up and race again at Daytona on Friday night. Brendan Gaughan won the GNC Live Well 200 for the Craftsman Truck Series at Milwaukee on Saturday, proving he is not a one-track wonder. Terry Cook started on the pole. He and Dennis Setzer led most of the race's first half. Green flag pit stops began, though, just before lap 80, and they would shuffle the running order just a little bit. Crawford here, Rick Crawford, short pits. You'll see him leaving.
Yeah, we ran forever without a yellow, it seemed like. And you roll the dice when you short pit like that, though, that the yellow will come out. But the tires didn't drop off a lot, so he made up some time. But it's a big roll of the dice. Dennis actually ran out of fuel coming in.
He didn't short pit
No,
enough.
he should have short pitted a little bit more, but he ran out about 6 laps before I think they thought they were going to.
Jason Keller's crew got him the lead on the exchange of pit stops. They would do that on both pit stops that the trucks made during that race.
Good racing here. I mean, we
Yeah.
see 3 wide racing on a flat 1 mile racetrack. I mean, that's
a great racetrack.
That's a good racetrack.
Yeah.
You saw it's just leading to what was the day's most exciting moment. Now we show it to you in full. A 3 wide pass for the lead by Rick Crawford. Watch Crawford in the 14. Leffler in the 2 is the leader.
Wow.
31 is Tina Gordon.
Yeah,
there's a lap truck.
That's pretty tight racing. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of room, so a little bumping and banging. Good truck racing.
Yes. That could have easily been 3 of them spinning right there.
Up, yeah.
Tina did a good job of giving them plenty of room right there because they needed all they could get.
And it looked like Rick was...
Yeah, it was a good race.
It was good racing.
Brendan, good to see Brendan win besides at Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will see his winning pass, as a matter of fact, right here. Caution for oil slowed the field. Leffler's crew gets him the lead on the set of pit stops. They did a super job all day. He will come out first at the bottom of the screen, but When it was time to go back racing, Brendan Gaughan was out second and would need very little time to put the winning move on. There goes Leffler. You saw him sneak through the bottom of the screen. Okay, right after the restart, here comes the winning pass. Watch this outside move. Again, outside move.
I think I'll just drive around the top here.
Well, I think as most times when you go green, you're going to want to protect the bottom a little bit just so you don't slide up. And, you know, Brendan's figured out that, well, if he's going to protect the bottom anyways, why not give it a shot? And it ended up working out, and off we went and won a race. I mean, that was great to see those guys do that.
I believe Jason ran second in this race last year. He got, wasn't Terry Cook got him on the restart with just like a green-white checker deal at the very end.
Yeah.
Brendan Gaughan's 4th career win and 2nd of this season. Bobby Hamilton had engine failure, finished 29th, so Gaughan leads Hamilton and Crawford by a single point in the Craftsman Truck Series Championship, heading to their race in Kansas this Saturday. For a further examination of both races from Milwaukee, tonight at 11 Eastern, Wednesday at 7 Eastern, Randy, Hank, and this week Ashton Lewis will join me for Inside the NASCAR Busch Series here on Speed. Hope you'll be with us.
I think music does more to bring people together than any other one thing. As much as I travel, we're always looking for good radio stations that play good music, and XM radio gives me everything I need. I've got 100 different choices that I can make: pop, country, rock and roll, news, talk, whatever. Right at this moment, XM radio is the best radio there is.
XM Satellite Radio, featuring the only 24-hour NASCAR radio channel.
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that need Castrol GTX high mileage. It protects against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
Nothing outperforms Mobil 1. Now the official lubricant of NASCAR.
Speedway race day, the gang's all here. 43 teams all getting in a gear. Time trial run, 90 seconds to lose. Tune it up, tweak it out, run it in the groove. This is for the people giving it the best. Who said Sunday was a day of rest? This but's for you.
Introducing McCormick Grill Mates Grilling Sauces. Just grill, brush, and let the feast begin. New Grill Mates Grilling Sauces, along with seasonings and marinades, are from McCormick, the taste you trust.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the always anticipated Speedfan Q&A segment of our program, where we take your questions off the old email and put them out to our expert panel. Jody of North Carolina wants to know why our panel thinks NASCAR is considering putting an escape hatch in the roof of the car and where that all stands. Survey says
just easier to get out of the car quick. We're thinking. Johnny has brought up a good point that with the headrest and the shoulder braces and stuff, it might still not be all that easy, but it's going to be a whole nother place you can get out quick. And a lot of times too, you know, these things stop with driver's side up against the wall, and you can't. The left window is not an option, and getting out the right side stuff. So just pop up that top is what the thinking is.
And it's been being talked about for a long time, so you know, maybe there's some good things that's going to come out of it.
And just in case you're wondering, that video was from NASCAR's R&D Center. That's one of the prototypes they're looking at.
I stopped over at the R&D Center the other day, and Gary Nelson took me around some. They're wrecking a lot of stuff, man. They're doing some pretty neat stuff over there.
That's a pretty neat.
Oh, they got a really big thing that they push with a four-wheeler, and it hits this really big concrete wall. And they're
Tears up some stuff.
Yeah, I saw the frame rail stuff they're looking at from Jerry's wreck. You know.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Jimmy saw it.
they've got some.
Doing a lot of good things.
They are doing a lot of good things over there.
That's a neat building. It's a neat building.
Next question, Ray of Ohio wants to know, what is power steering and how does it help a driver on the racetrack?
You should answer it, Ken.
Now, not everyone is mechanically inclined.
Well, no, power steering just makes it turn easier to steer. And if you have a car with power steering that you drive on the street, you might want to just cut the belt off and see how easy it is to drive. And we really need them nowadays.
Well, I mean, we do a lot of things with front end settings, and I don't think you could do today's world if you didn't have power steering.
No, there's a lot of, on your caster settings, when you didn't use it, you can't use the caster that we use now. I mean, when the power steering goes out and the guy makes it to the end of the race, he did a pretty good job getting it.
And bottom line is power steering is steering that's assisted by power from the engine.
Yeah.
Good enough?
Hey, that's pretty good.
How about that?
Power steering. You're all over it, Alan.
It's a wonder how. Got a question for our panel? Here's how you get it to us.
To submit your questions, visit speedtv.com. Go to the program section and look for Inside Winston Cup.
In the 1860s, we began connecting a continent, building a network so powerful it would transport an entire nation into the future. I guess you could say we've been online for the last 140 years.
Up next, see Musgrave, Setzer, and the rest hit the Milwaukee Mile. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Rewind. Check it out next, only on Speed.
I like to ride my bike, but not around people, or over curbs, or through traffic. So one day, I began to dream. About a place where people weren't in my way, but on my way. A place where around every corner there were things I didn't have to see, but wanted to see. Finally, a place where there were more reasons to get on my bike than to get off. And suddenly it hit me. What if I'm in the right state of mind? Just the wrong state. Call today for your free New Mexico vacation guide.
I'm Governor Bill Richardson. Experience a state of enchantment. Experience New Mexico.
A lot going on to tell you about, starting with coverage from Daytona. Busch Series qualifying Thursday on Speed. Winston Cup qualifying on TNT Thursday night. Happy Hour on Speed. Trackside Friday night on Speed. The Busch Series race on TNT. And then Saturday, it is the Craftsman Truck Series race from Kansas, 2 Eastern time here on Speed, and the Pepsi 400 on NBC at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Don't forget Speed News, NASCAR edition, Sunday night, wrap up on the weekend.
That's my favorite show.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Daytona this Saturday night, the Pepsi 400, with a quick look back at last year's race to get the conversation started. Mikey was the man. Led 99 of the 160 laps a year ago.
That's definitely where you want to be if you can get there. I mean, just you got to have great equipment, good car, and like I said, get up up front. It's great.
The big one did happen. 24 to go. Jeff Burton tries to pass Dale Jarrett. Dale Jarrett tries to block, and it doesn't work out.
No, it didn't work out for a lot of cars, that's for sure.
Yeah, about 14 of them, as a matter of fact.
You know, but we see that. It's just you got so many cars in such a tight bunch. It's just part of the the restrictor plate racing, and hopefully this year we'll go down there and not have that happen.
Restrictor plates have never caused a wreck yet.
Correct.
Still, when one of us runs into another one of us, it always causes the wreck.
Isn't that amazing?
Most of them are on the straightaway
because of the
now.
plate, though.
I know we're 0 for 2 in speedway races so far. We're looking for some positive things out of Daytona, finally.
At the speeds you're running now at Daytona, running at night, does handling come into play enough to make a difference in passing opportunities?
I would say the Pepsi 400 way more than the Daytona 500. I think because of the heat, you can, like you've seen there, a 4 or 5 car breakaway because handling is big. I've seen guys take provisionals and race for the win for the Pepsi 400. When DEI wasn't involved, I mean, they're a stranglehold right now. They are who we have to beat.
3 topics to touch on quickly. The big one, the yellow line, DEI dominance. We'll expect Junior and Michael and Green to be up there somewhere.
We'll expect those guys to be up front, and of course the yellow line, as it always talks down there, is you got to make sure you don't go under.
Still in favor of that rule?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Pit stops. With passing being somewhat difficult.
It's a long race. We'll have to make some.
Yeah.
Fuel mileage will be real important down there. Be a all-day deal, conserving fuel and getting everything dialed in so you can shorten up your stops compared to everybody else so you can end up front.
And using the small gas tank, so you'll make lots of pit stops.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I like that.
That's good.
That's fine.
I mean, I just really like it. I think it gives everybody a chance to, more than the car, you know, the car is everything, but if you can do some pit stop action, it really plays a different part.
Saves on fuel.
Well, you know, you can work 30 laps trying to pass somebody with great difficulty, but if you pass them in a 11.5-second 2-tire pit stop, then
there you go.
It makes life easier.
And it's a lot of drama too. You come off of turn 4 running wide open, you're trying to lock it down. You're on the brakes really hard, trying to slow up.
Okay. You're not going to pass anybody with an 11.5-second 2-tire pit stop, but I'll back off on that. That's Saturday night's race, and if they allow us, after this fine television program, we'll be back here next Monday night to wrap it all up for you.
Speed Channel's coverage of NASCAR Inside Winston Cup is brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Take Enterprise, we'll pick you up. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
We want to make sure that you're right for our daughter. Frankly, we don't even know you. Are you safe? Reliable? Have you been in an accident? You're not exactly our type.
Bill.
He's wearing a bra.
This is so unfair.
Used cars don't talk.
I hate you.
That's why there's Carfax. From police reports to state inspections, we have the history of the car you're looking at. Get a Carfax report from your dealer or go to Carfax.com and get the truth about used cars.
Any recipe that starts out open 3 beers is worth a shot. Add a pack of Johnsonville brats, simmer with onions, adjust recipe to 4 beers, grill and serve with your favorite condiments. And if the first bite reminds a certain someone she picked Mr. Right, well, welcome to heaven on a bun. Welcome to Johnsonville.
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that need Castrol GTX high mileage. It protects against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
Speed Channel presents the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
I can't push you around now. Let's go.
Only on Speed.
Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain.
Chance for you to sound off no matter what kind of racing you like. Let's go to line 2. Frank from Jacksonville, Florida. Mitch in Illinois. Get to your point.
Dave's talking motorsports live.
We have great guests tonight. Welcome, please, Nicky Grist. Please welcome Paul Tracy. Steve Matchett will join us for Formula One.
Call in or email.
It's old Dave here, your big old self-centered TV windbag.
Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. Friday nights at 11, only on Speed.
Coverage of the Kyle Petty Charity Ride Across America, a Speed Channel special, Wednesday night at 8 Eastern Time, followed by the Clevite Engine Builders Showdown. I think there's some people that are familiar to our hot seat guests that'll do fairly well in that when you see it. Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain Friday night, among the programming coming up this week here on Speed Channel. And next, following our fine program, Craftsman Truck Series Rewind from Milwaukee, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Got a minute left. Michael, thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good luck in the championship. We appreciate there being no fisticuffs in the studio.
Yeah, ain't no problem. Hey, I'll come by after a while.
Stop by the house.
Stacker 2, remember, is debuting its new paint scheme, YJ Stinger, our energy drink, black car this
You've been
week.
reminding me of that constantly, so.
Yes, I keep getting it in.
Just looking forward to going down to Daytona, and forgot to mention his bikes now. Aaron sponsors my little late model up there at Berlin, so.
Got it.
That's fun.
We got ATT on the car this week. It's been planned since the start of the year, so looking forward to that. And running the Federated Auto Parts car Wednesday night, South Boston, ARC race.
The ARC race. There you go. Cool. Happy 20th birthday to my son, Alan.
20th? How old are you?
20 years old?
You got on us? Yeah.
A lot older than that, unfortunately.
Wow.
All right, next Monday night, 7 Eastern time here on Speed Channel. We'll try and line this up and do it all again. See you then.